All right, the Indianapolis Colts, I got to hand it to them. They're making some moves right in the heart of the season. If you're new to the channel, we make videos for teams that get ignored by the national media. Indianapolis Colts being one of those teams. They are right in the mix, right in the thick of things. In the AFC, nobody's talking about them. In the AFC and for the division as well, we'll break that down. But they've made a couple of moves. One you know of course, but they made another move that's like, okay, the Colts are not messing around. I love it. So, again, reminder real quick, 5-5, won 2 games here, went on a bye, and they're right in the mix. I mean, if you're a Colts fan from last year, the offseason, didn't know what you had, you lose your quarterback, to be right here 5-5 is awesome. You're also 4-1 on the road, which is great. You're 1-4 at home, which is weird, but there's some, it's kind of a weird season, but at the end of the day, and I've said this for a long time, if you're as a Colts fan, you're in the middle of a rebuild, but you're still winning. And so you have meaningful football down the stretch. You could easily be 1-9, been there, right? As a Lions fan, 2-7. And it's just like, oh, this is no fun. Hey, we got a chance, right? We're playing games that are meaningful. So, as you know, Leonard was released. And this is just, first of all, I think smart. And I'm going to tell you why. The fact that you have the guts to cut this guy to the point where it got to that point where you're a guy who played 70% of the defensive snaps, but he wasn't all in on the new culture. And you've proven that you've got something with this new coach that, hey, and we've seen it in Detroit. It's the culture. Players come and go. If you don't want to buy in, I used to think it was corny. Now I'm seeing what it's all about to have a full-on culture. I thought it was all about the players, and in some cases it still is. But if one player is not buying into the culture, then it's time to go. And you've got a guy here in Leonard who's gone. Like, it's crazy. So how did they fill his position? We'll get back to Leonard in just a second, but the Colts go out and they sign Brandon Wilson. Now, he's a former 6th-round pick with the Cincinnati Bengals in 2017. He's appeared in 60 career games. So it's not like this undrafted, nobody's heard of him guy. This dude has got some real NFL time put in. He's recorded 59 tackles, forced fumbles. He spent 3 seasons as a kick returner. So if you're the Colts, you've signed a guy, first Rodney Harrison Jr. to the active roster. So then you have another space open. You bring in a veteran guy with career experience, a guy that's going to fit in and fit the culture. I love the signing because you add a veteran guy with special team experience. And so the Colts are showing with the moves that they made. We'll get back to that in just a second. And just again, this is from an outsider's perspective. We value culture over players. And if a player's just like, I'm not going to do that, it's like, okay. And it sounds like they're both like, man, okay, you don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. All right, then let's part ways, and we are going to make sure we protect our culture. And again, I thought that the whole thing was goofy. And now to see Dan Campbell come in and do it with Detroit, Indianapolis Colts fan, you can be happy that you've got that thing headed in the right direction. You've got the right coach. You've got a rookie quarterback. You've got the coach and quarterback. And now if you got the culture on top of it, other players will come and go, and this is sustainable and it can last for a long time. So if you're an Indianapolis Colts fan, the moves that they're making are oddly encouraging. You hate to give up on a former All-Pro and a guy that plays 70% of snaps, but it shows me that this is encouraging moves because you're valuing the culture over the individual player. So I think that's a good thing. So if you look at the Colts, here's some other good news too. So they go win-win. 2 teams that they should beat, yet it's the NFL, so you never take anything for granted. So the Colts beat the Panthers, then they beat the Patriots, go on a bye and set themselves up for a stretch run here that's like, okay, Buccaneers, beatable. Gotta have this game at home. Bucks are just, with Baker Mayfield, you got to beat them. I mean, and if you don't, then it's like, okay, then we really weren't a playoff team. If we can't beat the Bucks at home after a bye, then we're just really not a playoff team. Titans, winnable. Bengals, winnable. That was a tough game on the schedule. Now all of a sudden it's different. Quarterback's gone. Joe Burrow's gone. Steelers, what are they really? Falcons, winnable. Raiders, winnable. And then you win, you know, these games, and again, this is best case scenario. You win all these games, and then this right here comes down for the division. If you win out, you win the division. Now, I know that's a lot. That's a tall ask, but start looking at the opponents and you start thinking, well, not really. You got the Colts at home, Falcons in the dome, Raiders at home when they're probably not going to be playing for anything. Falcons probably might be out of it by then. And then you come here for the division. I don't know. I mean, it's realistic. So again, you've got meaningful games that you're playing while you're in the midst of a rebuild. You're proving that you're in the rebuild, but you want to do things the right way, long-term sustainable, which is a great sign. If there's anything I've learned from rebuilds, been in a lot of them, rebuild. Just rebuild. Take a year and rebuild. Get guys that want to be in the culture and do it right. Don't think that you're there when you're not. That's just foolish. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. I love the moves that they're making, and I love the schedule. Love this team. Love the direction. We'll see what happens. Again, if you haven't subscribed, we cover teams that don't get the love nationally like they should, and they get ignored by the national media. The Colts are a good team, and they're on their way up. So let me know your thoughts in the comments, and we'll see all of you on the next one.